Okay, everybody, we're back with Peter Falk, and then I don't forget Peter Falk, you motherfucker.
Columbo.
Falk, you.
You're fucking kidding me.
What
That was the Peter Falk episode. We're done. No, all right, come on. We're talking about Peter Falk today. You are a fan. I know that. Right. I know Liz is a fan because when I met her, she had fucking Columbo on the back of her phone.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
I had a hard shell case on my iPhone with a picture of Peter Falk as Columbo, and it was beautiful, and people loved it. And I got a lot of compliments, and I miss it.
It was great. It was he was just like kind of his head was tilted, and he was about to say, "And just one more thing."
Just one more thing.
I mean, he's famous as a Columbo, but not many people. He's a very fine actor. He does stage, and he was nominated for Academy. He has many great movies together. Also,
John Cassavetes.
Right, Cassavetes is a good friend. So he's in almost every Cassavetes movie.
And he was unbelievable. Husbands,
The In-Laws. Come on, The In-Laws.
Opening night, and then,
The In-Laws.
Yes, The In-Laws is
yeah.
The In-Laws.
He's amazing in The In-Laws.
What about, what was he nominated for the Oscar? Woman Under the Elm?
I think, Pocket Full of Miracles or something.
Oh, Pocket Full of Miracles. Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Oh, yeah.
He's great. I mean, like... Just there's that even in Maid. You ever see Maid?
Yeah.
With John Favreau
Right.
and Vince Vaughn. He's the mafia boss. He's like, "You cocksuckers!" He's like screaming at him. It's like the best part of the movie.
Yeah, he's great. But he just Columbo is just too much.
Well, how many? Okay, so. This was interesting. I was uninterested in Columbo to revisit because I used to watch it as a kid,
right?
And I really loved it. But then Liz started to put him on. I was like, Columbo, I'm too old for this shit for some reason. I feel like I need to be like 90 to watch this. But then
you're too old. You're too young.
I'm too young to watch this. Is what I meant. And but then she started putting on the ones later, like from the 90s.
Right, 90s.
And they were really good.
Yeah.
From like the late 80s, early 90s, because essentially I read that he stopped making full seasons of Columbo and would just do TV
No, but
movies.
actually 70s one is really good because there's a gap.
Yes.
Okay. How long was the gap?
There's a big gap at one point.
Yeah.
Like 10 years?
Because the first one was the 1967 pilot.
Yeah.
Then 70s they're making, a lot.
Which was directed by...
Steven
Spielberg.
Spielberg.
Murder by the Book.
So that's how he got into... start to make shit for TV, like Duel and Something Evil.
And then he did The Night Gallery.
Isn't that with Joan Crawford?
Joan Crawford,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, so Steven Spielberg.
So he started as a TV director.
Yeah, for Peter Falk.
Right. And then so that was 70, 80 kind of they stopped making it.
Slowly. Because Angela Lansbury took over with Murder, She Wrote.
Then Reboot is 90s.
But those were good. So that's when I started to go, oh shit, there's more to this Columbo than meets the eye. Because I never watched
Literally.
Okay, wait.
Well,
Before we move on, how did he lose his eye?
Wait, I have a good eyeball
Cancer.
story.
Cancer of the eye?
Yeah.
Can I read you something?
Yes, read me something. But so he lost it from the eye?
So this is...
cancer?
He didn't have an eye already when he became actor.
Holy shit. Which one is it? Left or right?
Left eye?
Let me...
All right, read it. What do you got?
Right eye.
Right eye.
Yes.
His right eye was real or fake?
Fake.
His fake eye, right eye. Okay.
I'll tell you a whole story.
Okay.
So this is from 1997's Cigar Aficionado.
Okay.
He said, I remember once in high school, he was on the baseball team. The umpire called me out at third base when I was sure I was safe. I got so mad I took out my glass eye, handed it to him, and said, try this. I got such a laugh you wouldn't believe.
Oh my God. So he was even making jokes about his eye back then.
Had to.
So he lost it as a young man.
Really young, yeah.
Holy shit.
It adds so much to his roles, though. It really does.
It gives him, like, much more character.
Definitely.
If he had just been a normal guy with 2 eyes.
And then he's a great artist, you know.
He was a painter, right?
Painter, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What? He was a painter? Like a beautiful painter? Like oil
Is that
paintings?
paint or
No,
pencil? Pencil.
Pencil, you're
Yeah.
right. I'm sorry.
pencil.
Yes.
Pencil artist.
They look really good.
And he would sell them and
he-
shit?
Just like that. He
Oh, we have an Edward G. Robinson pencil sketch in our living room that Liz Schack had before she even met
right,
me.
but he does pencil art like that.
Like pencil sketches. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, like, especially in Mikey and Nikki, which is one of my favorite roles of his, the fact that he has the lazy eye, I think adds so much to his character, especially when they go into the woman's apartment and she says she's ugly and then he punches her in the face.
Oh my
I
God.
love that part.
So yeah, let's think about some of his movie roles. Like you mentioned Mikey and Nikki, which is great. That's John
Right.
Cassavetes.
John Cassavetes, yeah.
And Peter Falk, directed by the great.
Elaine May.
That's right. Liz Schack is reading a book about Elaine May right now. She's a great unheralded female artist who wrote and directed many. What is it? Mikey and Nikki.
Mikey and Nikki.
The Heartbreak Kid.
A New Leaf.
A New Leaf. You ever see A New Leaf, Yuki?
No.
It's Walter Matthau and Elaine May. Great.
Is it Elaine May? Did she do Ishtar?
Yes,
Yes,
that
she
was
did.
her last movie.
Which Ishtar is better than you remember.
That's like a piece of crap.
It's the biggest. It's one of the biggest bombs of all time, but it's not that bad. You go watch it again, and you might laugh.
I think she's a better writer than the director.
Well, isn't that what they say in the book? Is that she was so like sporadic and haphazard as a director because she needed to shoot thousands of feet of film?
Well, that and also like A New Leaf, which was the first thing she directed. She literally has never directed anything but plays before, and they had her
right?
on set.
I think she worked with Mike Nichols.
Yes,
a lot.
they started as a
Nichols
improv
and
duo.
Right.
Yeah.
But then they peeled apart, and she was doing mostly theater,
Right.
directing that way. But then they gave her a deal, and they were like, "You're going to be the next Isla Lupino," and she was like, "Okay," and then like basically didn't know what the fuck she was doing. Made the best.
She
of
made
it.
some masterpieces, no joke. The Heartbreak Kid, I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, I love it.
That's one of the most
A New
underrated.
Leaf is fantastic,
A
too.
New Leaf, again, most underrated comedy. And she also ghost wrote Tootsie. She did a lot of work on that script, and she didn't get any credit.
Right?
Yeah, she was a notorious script doctor throughout Hollywood for years. She worked on so many different comedies. So anyway, but Peter Falk, they worked together in Mikey and Nikki, and that I always thought it was a Cassavetes movie.
I thought so too.
Everybody
yeah.
does, right?
It's her, and that's such a good fucking movie.
She's also in a movie with Peter Falk, which I haven't seen yet, called Love. L-U-V.
What?
That's
What
how
year?
1967.
Oh shit!
So it was
Early.
actually before she started directing.
Wow. So when did let's see when Peter Falk started. Oh my god, it goes all the way back to the 50s.
50,
I think he was in Hitchcock Presents. He was in The Twilight Zone.
Wow.
Yep, Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the Prescription Murder, the pilot. I think that's 1967.
Yep. He was also in all sorts of stuff. The Barbara Stanwyck show, The Untouchables, The Twilight Zone, like you said.
He did the TV a lot.
All kinds of TV, and then he started to jump into movies. Yeah, the Alfred Hitchcock Hour. Oh my god.
It's a mad
world.
And then Murder Inc.
Murder Inc. That's right here. Yeah. Holy shit. So when do you remember seeing Columbo or even just Peter Falk in general?
Well, I mean, first time I saw was a TV movie, then going backwards, then start watching those movies, and then he was in Castle Keep with Burt Lancaster, war movie that was good.
Castle Keep.
Castle Keep.
I gotta put that on my list. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, he's just so okay. So nowadays, sometimes you say, whatever happened to all the great-looking character actors who aren't like these model types, who are just like closer to everyday people than you would think, but have some sort of distinguishing look that sets them apart from normal people.
Right.
And I think Peter Falk is one of the greatest character actors of all time.
Right.
Although he did lead movies.
Right.
He was the lead in a lot of movies.
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. And like, I think my introduction to him was Princess Bride.
Oh,
He's so
I
good in
love
that.
that.
He's so good
he's
in that
so
and
good in that.
endearing, and he basically leads the whole movie in a
As
way.
you wish.
Yeah, he reads us the story.
But I think it's good and bad. Like becoming Columbo. I mean, he was such a Columbo. So
Totally.
once he's doing Columbo, I think it's good you have a lifetime character to play. But once he did the Columbo, he didn't do
He
any
couldn't play
other
anything
movie.
else
Yeah,
ever
he
again.
couldn't.
Wait, didn't you say your grandmother used to think that he was great at Japanese?
Yeah, he did. So I bumped into him coffee shop and then studio. So I told him, I grew up with watching Columbo, and then my grandma thought this actor speak Japanese very well, and then he loved it. So,
Because they dubbed him, but she thought that he was just
my
regular.
grandma didn't know.
That is so sweet. And wasn't he wearing the Columbo outfit when you met him?
Yeah, but because that was they're shooting new Columbo that day.
Oh, that's awesome. You got to meet Peter Falk. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
and same coat, and then that beat up car was there, so.
That's beautiful, Yuki. That's probably one of my favorite Yuki celebrity stories.
Oh.
I really.
But that was before the cell phone time, so that's why I don't have phone.
You couldn't get a picture and shit.
No.
Oh.
But I think his range, seeing him in A Woman Under the Influence versus Columbo is night and day.
Oh yeah.
It's
even
so...
Husbands. I mean, in Husbands,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a degenerate, drunken fool.
Yeah, and the thing that's so funny is people think that John Cassavetes, Ben Gazzara, and Peter Falk
Right, they're
were,
good friends.
but they weren't. Peter Falk never worked with John. He didn't know John Cassavetes until he went to the set of Husbands.
Wow, so that's how they became friends?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then there's that great behind-the-scenes
It's
Dick
not
Cavett.
behind the scenes even. It's literally an episode of Dick Cavett.
An episode of Dick Cavett, they come out drunk. You ever see this?
They're wasted.
They're so they're so drunk it's not even funny. It's cringe. Cringe, and they're trying to be funny and make jokes like they do in the movie, and it's just not working, and Dick Cavett is so
He walks off.
He lets them have the drunken show. It's take
Peter
it.
Falk, Ben Gazzara takes off his shoe. It's just, it's insane. It's crazy. I love it.
You know what else?
I met the Ben Gazzara.
Oh my God, you did?
Well, Marco worked with him, and then I was visiting Marco in the backstage. Then I met but he was alcoholic. He was drunk.
Yes.
He was drunk?
Yeah.
I have his memoir right here.
What was he drinking?
Oh. I don't know exactly, but I thought he was drinking vodka.
Okay. And he was slurring and
Yeah, it's because it smells. So when I was watching the play, what's wrong with him? Then later I found out. So he played. He was already drunk. So. God,
was he supposed to play a drunk?
No.
Oh no.
So
Nothing worse than a
alcoholic.
drunk trying to not be drunk.
I want to know my money back then, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You're alcoholic.
Well, there's that old, and I don't know if he was supposed to be drunk or not in the play, but when Laurence Olivier and Dustin Hoffman were working together on Marathon Man, and Dustin Hoffman had to play drunk, so he asked the crew, go get me a bottle of whiskey, and Laurence Olivier said, have you ever just tried acting, silly boy? Because, they're method and they want to be drunk to play drunk, but the best actors can just turn it on and do it.
So I guess Dustin Hoffman wasn't that good then.
Or he's just method. I mean, it was a new style. I guess Ben Gazzara's life was method because he was drinking, and every character he played,
But
he
the
said he was
character
drunk.
was supposed to be drunk.
That he fucked
He was
up.
alcoholic, basically.
There you go.
Yeah.
But Peter Falk, he kind of was. I don't see him as a drunk.
I don't think he was a drunk, but he drank.
I'm sure he drank, but
Yeah.
I don't see him with the longevity that he had, as a drunk, right? I mean,
Well,
maybe.
I think in the early 2000s, I heard he became kind of like senile.
Right.
He had really bad dementia. There are these really sad paparazzi
But that time he
photos.
was semi-retired, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything, I think.
But he
Wait,
would,
you
like,
said there's pictures?
Yeah, there's like paparazzi photos where he looks very confused and
that's
scared.
sad.
I know.
But that could be part of the senile or, right?
Yeah,
because
definitely.
of old. May not be nothing to do with alcoholic.
Right, no, he just
yeah,
might
no, this
have-
is separate, but I feel bad that the camera guys wouldn't leave him alone.
They wouldn't leave him alone, right? What the fuck is wrong with the paparazzi people? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Especially like a treasure. Like, it's not like he's fucking Paris Hilton. Like, leave him alone.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
please.
he's a
my
confused
Paris
man.
Hilton.
Oh.
I mean,
He's your Mike Paris Hilton.
even the star, they're just the people. So, like, Bruce Willis or,
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
they
he's going
can't
through it.
remember, they can't remember the line anymore.
Yup.
So,
Yeah, because everybody was making fun of Bruce Willis because all of his movies he would just like show up and not talk and like look to the left, look to the right.
Yeah.
But it turns out that he couldn't do it anymore. So they still gave him the roles because he was Bruce Willis. So he just kind of was
but
like in those
he
geezer
did
teasers.
retire, right?
Oh,
Now
yeah.
he's retired. Yeah.
I don't think he could even, like, function.
Right?
Yeah.
Or he
Yeah.
can't recognize maybe wife or kid.
That's what they say, and he can't read and stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah. So now he's like, it's so sad because
Sad.
you watch these people, they're young and vibrant, and they're so fucking good at
Right.
acting, and then it's like they just lose
The
everything.
Bruce Willis one really shocks me because he's not that old either.
He's like late 60s.
Right.
So still young.
Yeah, he had a Die Hard 5 in him for sure, or
Damn.
6. Wait, what were they up to?
No, Die Hard 1, 2, 3.
4, 5. They
4,
did
5.
5. They
yeah,
did 5.
they did 5.
So they had a 6
That
one.
was what
Good
was
Day to
that?
Die Hard.
Good Day to Die Hard.
I
yeah.
had one, Old Habits Die Hard. I wanted to make
Oh,
one.
that's a good
And
one.
I wrote a treatment for it, and he goes to Vegas to stop his daughter from getting married with, him, his son, and his ex-wife. Go to Vegas to stop the daughter from getting married, and the fucking terrorists take over a casino, and he has to fight the terrorists. But guess
Oh,
what?
what?
They did that for Paul Blart Mall Cop Part 2. So I couldn't... They fucking stole my idea for Paul Blart.
Did you
I put it online.
maybe
Yeah,
they
I wrote a
stole
blog
it.
post that's called Old Habits Die Hard, and then they fucking they stole it. Whoever wrote Paul Blart, plagiarists. No, I don't know. Anybody could come up with that. Plus, it's stupid. Why would... I guess casinos, they're robbing it. They're robbing it? So they're not terrorists, they're robbers, just like the first one.
Oh.
You know what would be great? Like, when they start doing hologram movies where, like, the actors are holograms, but they look real. If they did Peter Falk and Die Hard. That would be great.
That would be really great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd
He's like,
love to see that.
He's like a yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. With the cigar in the vent.
He's smoking a cigar.
Apparently, he was a chess aficionado.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he loved chess.
Holy shit.
You got to be very smart to love
know,
chess.
I know
first,
nothing about chess, so I'm stupid.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
I think that's the best one.
Of course it's the best one. The other ones, I mean, the other one, okay. I like 3 a lot because it's different.
Right.
I think 2's okay because it's the same.
Right.
4 and 5 are fucking horror. I fucking hate them. I want them to fucking
Right.
not exist because they make me so mad at how ungood they are. But the first Die Hard, that is a
Yeah.
classic motherfucker.
Right? I mean, the setting is just the building.
Yeah.
He just got involved.
It was
and-
supposed to be a sequel to Commando, so it was supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. They were going to rewrite it and make it a sequel, and then he turned it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and also, here's the craziest thing about Die Hard. The character of John McClane comes from novels by this guy, Roderick Thorpe.
Uh-huh.
He wrote a novel called The Detective,
Uh-huh.
and then the sequel to that was Nothing Lasts Forever. The detective was played by Frank Sinatra.
That's Tony Long.
Tony Rome?
Yeah.
What's that? Tony Roma's the steakhouse?
No, that's a detective name. Tony Long. That's
Oh, so they changed the name? So they must have
Sinatra
changed the
played.
name, but so Sinatra, after he did The Detective, it was in the 60s. He had the rights to Nothing Lasts Forever up until the 80s, and he always wanted to try and do that story as that character from the detective, and then finally relinquish the rights so they can make it as an action movie. And I guess he got paid a couple of bucks.
Oh, but that's why they made... Sinatra made 3 of them.
3 of those.
Tony Long, the detective, Lady in the Concrete.
Okay, so he had another one that he was going to make, and
Right.
so he was going to be John McClane. Imagine Sinatra crawling around in the vents.
No.
Or Schwarzenegger crawling. See, that wouldn't have worked.
He's too big.
He's too big. He couldn't crawl in the vents. He's like, come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs. I do a bad
No, I think that was
That's my Schwarzenegger.
and then plus...
Wait, how does Frank go? Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
I think he would be too serious. Sinatra would be too serious. Then he wouldn't even talk like that.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs. That's Steven Seagal.
He's too serious. No, I don't see that.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs. That's Joe Bob.
Matthew McConaughey? Oh.
That's Joe Bob.
All right. Back to Peter Falk. What else happened with Peter Falk?
So he has a memoir called Just One More Thing, which has been on my Amazon.
Right, just one more thing.
My Amazon wish list. There's apparently a statue of Columbo and his dog in Budapest.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Why Budapest?
They love him there?
I don't know why.
That's cool.
Yeah, I guess they just really love Columbo.
Oh, you know what else he was in? We just watched this not too long ago. Wings of Desire.
Oh yeah, he was in it. That
He's
was
great
good.
in that.
What a strange, beautiful movie that is.
Yes.
I when we watched it, I had seen it, bits and pieces of it in college, because they cribbed
Right.
that for some stupid music video, and then they remade it with Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
But
that
the
was
original,
stupid.
it's
Yeah.
stupid. The original is a beautiful, beautiful
Right.
movie, directed by Wim Wenders.
Wim Wenders.
And Peter Falk plays himself.
His new movie, The Perfect Day, last year,
Oh,
that was good.
It's good. He's still
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah, he makes some good shit.
That was a Japanese movie actually.
Oh, he went to Japan.
He went to Japan and made this movie about the toilet cleaner.
Story of my life. You know how many toilets I've cleaned in my life?
It's about you. So that was good. They didn't win, but it was nominated for Best Foreign Film.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And Peter Falk in that movie, he plays such a great role. No
Right.
spoilers if anybody doesn't want to know this fucking spoilers here. He plays an angel.
Yeah.
But he's also he's like a Columbo angel.
But he's also him, yeah. He's
Yeah.
himself playing an actor in a German or something movie,
Right.
and he's like contemplating life, and then this angel comes to him. He's like, I used to be you, and I never know it. And then they pretty much realized that he's an angel.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I would
actually,
love
that was a
Peter
good
Falk
movie.
angel.
What if Peter Falk was your guardian angel?
That would make me so happy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? He's like, Liz, you gotta do the right thing.
I would do it. Whatever you say.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what to do, but don't walk down that street at night.
I want that so badly right now.
Eat that second helping of spaghetti. You'll like it.
So, you don't have to ask me twice.
You know, I like one episode, the one with Cassavetes was in.
So good.
That was a good episode, though.
Yeah, Liz showed me that too, and I forgot he was even in the show.
Yeah.
I also love the one with Johnny Cash.
Oh, Johnny Cash
That's
one?
a good one, and
Yeah.
he plays a bad guy.
What did we watch one, and there was an actor in the beginning that was really surprising to me.
Well,
It was one of the 90s ones. Oh, I gotta remember. There's so many fucking actors that were in Columbo. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's always like a jump scare when you're watching Columbo, because it's just like, it's seriously anybody who was anybody from that time period, and there was Columbo was on Columbo.
oh. I still like all the 70s one, though, yeah.
Me too.
I gotta go
You know
back.
what I love about I think it's the Steven Spielberg directed episode.
Uh-huh.
What makes me fall in love with Columbo is when he's sort of interrogating the woman, and he's making her a cheese omelet. He like makes her an omelet.
While he's interrogating her?
Yeah, it's amazing. But that's Columbo.
And you said in Columbo he always talks about his wife, but you never see her?
Yes.
Why, I wonder? That's so funny.
That's, it's a style. But then later they made it Mrs. Colombo.
Yeah.
What?
Goodbye, Mrs. Columbo.
Yeah.
Who played her?
She gets poisoned.
Who was that actress?
I forget. Let me look.
Wait, so all those years later they played her and she died? They killed
They kill her.
What?
Yeah.
But that we never saw it though.
But then Columbo investigates it?
Oh, Columbo gets poisoned and someone murders Mrs. Columbo.
Right.
Holy shit.
It's called, the episode's called Goodbye, Mrs. Columbo.
Yeah, Goodbye, Mrs. Columbo.
So they but why did they do that? Because of a case that he did in the past?
Yes, he was on someone's tail and they fucking killed his
Holy
wife.
shit, that's so crazy. It is. Rest in peace, Mrs. Columbo.
Yeah,
Right,
that's it.
1990.
Right.
Oh my
But I mean
god.
that's a Columbo the episode, but separately different series they made it as a Mrs. Columbo.
Oh yeah, who is this actress? Hold on.
Yeah.
I know her.
Kate Nelligan?
Helen Shaver?
Helen
no.
Shaver? No.
Wait, what? Supergirl?
Wait, no.
No,
hold
not
on,
the
hold
Helen
on.
Shaver, no.
Who the hell is Mrs. Columbo?
Kate Mulligan or Kate, no?
Oh, Helen Shaver.
Helen Shaver is the Mrs. Columbo?
Yeah, she that's what this says over here. She was in Law and Order and da. She was in a bunch of other Amityville Horror.
I kind of want to watch Columbo tonight.
Columbo, here we come. Columbo, Ohio.
Oh, I forgot to mention. Have you ever heard of Peter Falk's Law?
No, what's that?
So apparently it was created by his daughters when he was going through his dementia. He cut them off and wouldn't give updates on like how his condition was doing or like even when he passed away. And so she created Peter Falk's Law that's basically helps kids stay in touch with a parent and won't be cut off by a parent when they're going through a medical thing like that.
Holy
And it's been passed in like a bunch of states,
Oh my
including
god.
New York.
Oh.
Because I think that happened because he just was going kind of, he wasn't himself.
He
let's put
wasn't
it that
himself,
way.
and you never know if he did that on purpose or if somebody. Oh, it was George Hamilton.
Oh, yes. George Hamilton was in Columbus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
in one. I was like, oh, George Hamilton was in it. Holy shit! And then they had that. Remember that episode we watched? Columbo Goes to College.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they used the fucking remote control car and all that
Right.
shit. That was a
Yes,
great
that
one
was a
too.
good episode.
Wait, remember the one with the monkey?
No,
yes,
did we watch-
the lottery ticket.
Yes, I love that one.
What happened here?
I think there's like a murder in some apartment, but he goes in and there's this chimp.
Tell me Columbo hangs out with a chimp.
He
the whole
does.
Yeah,
episode.
he
Oh
does.
We
my
watched
god,
it together.
we did.
Yeah.
I must have been high.
This hit the jackpot.
Yes, yes.
I must have been so stoned for that one. Oh, I love it. I love Columbo.
It's so relaxing and cozy.
Yeah.
What else did he do in his life? Oh, it says here that he was in the Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters video. Even though he wasn't in the movie, he must have said Ghostbusters in the video. That's cool.
And
Snap.
he did the Brinks job.
Oh, what's that?
It's about the bank robbery. It's based on true story. The gangs robbing bank
Okay.
truck. I think the William Friedkin directed.
What?
Wow.
You're kidding me.
Oh, we love Friedkin.
Yeah, we just watched To Live and Die in L.A. When was the last time you watched that?
Oh,
God, that's so good.
Good fucking movie. That's like
the freeway scene is great though, right?
we didn't realize. So I watched that movie when I was a little boy. I mean, I'm talking little boy,
Right.
8.
8 or 9, and I had forgotten that there was a car chase because while we're watching the movie, I said, I hope Freakin' doesn't like cheap out and not do the car chase because he conquered the car chase
Right.
in the French Connection and he
Right.
can never beat it. And you know what? He does it and he comes damn close to getting as good as that fucking French Connection chase. That chase in To Live and Die in L.A. is fucking doesn't end. It just
Right.
keeps happening.
It keeps going. Yeah.
It keeps going, and he goes down the wrong way on the
Wrong
freeway.
direction. Yeah.
And he goes through the fucking side streets with the
Right.
trucks, and they're all, oh my god. And then there's all these assassins, like, jumping out of cars and shit. What a great fucking movie. And then the surprise. We won't say the surprise, but there's a huge surprise in that movie, and me and Liz both jumped out of our seats. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
You did jump out
I
of
jumped
your
out of my
seat.
seat. I couldn't believe it. Because I was so invested in the movie by that point. And when they do the trick that they do, You just don't do that in a movie, and he fucking freaking did it. And he said, "You know what? I'm did it, and I'm gonna own it, and I'm gonna fucking watch me make this movie even a half hour longer." It's so fucking good. So yeah, anybody out there who hasn't seen To Live and Die in L.A., go check it out. Did Peter Falk ever appear on any other shows like fucking Roseanne or some shit? I feel like he would have done some guest spots on those.
Twilight Zone, we said.
Well,
But that was
Zone.
before he became Stars, right?
Right? Did he do like a different strokes or something?
Let me look.
I feel like he
think so.
would have. You know, he would have been like, yeah, it's
Because
a
by
paycheck.
that time he was already too big to do TV show, I think.
Right, so
Except-
Columbo, when you star on a show and you're a Columbo, you don't need no side
Right,
projects.
you don't need that.
And I don't know if you guys have ever seen his like acceptance speech for, I think it was an Emmy for Columbo, and you could tell he's very much like, this is so mainstream. And
Oh, so you think that he wanted to do more challenging work?
no, I just don't think he took it that seriously, the Columbo stuff. I think he enjoyed it, but I think like he was just sort of like,
Eh,
eh.
I did it, I'm here.
I think he liked the indie stuff the
But
most.
I mean, if the part is so perfect,
It's so perfect.
it's very difficult to move on to other thing. I think.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, you get typecast in something.
Yeah, I mean, of course, financially, if you have a job like that, that's heaven. But as a artist-wise, you want to do other things too.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to just do one genre for your whole
Right.
time. You want to challenge yourself.
That's why I think his earlier, before Colombo, he did so many different parts, and
That's
then those movie parts are all fantastic. Then after half of his career, and then now he kind of did it all Colombo thing.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm trying to see if he did anything else.
This
No.
says his daughter, Catherine Falk, was a private detective in real life.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
No way.
Is that true?
That's what it says here on IMDb on his trivia.
That's amazing.
That's fucking hilarious if that's true. Let's see. Because of his Hungarian Jewish roots, there's a statue of him. That's why in Budapest. Oh my god. He was a heavy cigarette smoker since
Right.
the age of 15. But then he doubled on top of that with the cigars once he did Columbo.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Posthumously got a star on the Walk of Fame so we could go and see him and say hello. Yeah, one of his greatest passions was drawing and sketching. He had studio in his Beverly Hills estate. That's cool, man. I wish I could draw. That's one of the things I really regret that I was never able to master.
Not too late. You can start.
I try, and
Yeah.
I'm able to do I could draw Garfield. Yeah, but that's it. Because I learned that when I was really little, and it was like tracing it. But now I could do it freehand. But that's it. That's the only thing I could draw. And I have a couple of my own characters I draw, but they don't look good.
Mr. Doo-Doo Head.
Mr. Poo-Poo Head.
Oh, Mr.
I
Poo-Poo
wrote a
Head.
children's book called Mr. Poo-Poo Head,
Oh my god.
and he's a plumber, and he also helps the plants grow in this town because he's really good because he's manure. And so what happens is in this town where they grow these plants, somebody steals all the water from the reservoir, and all the plants start dying. So Mr. Poo-Poo Head goes on. He's like Columbo. He goes on a detective case and he looks for the missing water. But everybody in the town still hates him because he smells. But guess what? Without water, they all start to smell too. So then they know what it's like to be smelly like him. So they stop bullying him. But guess what? He also finds the water. And you know what it was? This old woman. She dug a hole from her basement to the reservoir and let all the water into her basement so she can have an underground pool.
Oh my.
And so Mr. Poo-Poo Head figures it out and saves the water, and then everybody loves him in the town.
I love it.
Oh, that's
That's-
a nice story.
Yeah, that's called Mr. Poo-Poo Head by John Brennan. It's a children's book.
You should write it.
I did. I wrote it.
How about who did?
Nobody.
Oh,
Nobody wants it. It's
Publish
too.
it.
It's too racy for children, and it's too stupid for adults. So who the fuck is it for? Only me, John Brennan.
No, me.
You?
but can you do in the internet
Yeah, I bet you know what. You know what? I'm gonna get an artist to draw
and then put it in the YouTube?
and put it on YouTube and put it out as Mr. Poo-Poo Head
Yeah.
by John Brennan. and then maybe it'll catch on. Maybe
maybe
children.
somebody, yeah.
It'll be the new Columbo. Then we could get a good character actor to play him in the live action movie, Mr. Poo-Poo Head.
But what's he look like? Poo-poo?
His head is a piece of shit.
It's like a turd.
It's a turd. And he's got an afro. Like, he grows his hair out. Like, his head is a piece of shit, and then his hair grows out of that head.
Ew.
And then his wife is Mrs. Poo-Poo Head.
Oh my god.
And then guess what the sheriff's name is? Mr. Farty Pants. And that the reason why Mr. Farty Pants and Mr. Poo-Poo Head and Mrs. Poo-Poo Head get along is because they all smell like farts. But then the town does it. But like I told you, once they can't shower, they smell like farts too. And BO.
My God.
Would you buy this for your child, Yuki? Would you buy this book for your children?
No, too much poop. No.
But kids love poop. That's why okay, so when I was living in LA, I had a roommate at the time, a woman, and she had 2 kids, and they came to visit us, and they stayed with us for like 2 weeks. And they started talking about poop all the time. Like, everything was a fucking fart and poop joke. Like, poop this, poop that. So then one day, the kid says, You're Mr. Poo-Poo Head. And I said, no, you're Mr. Poo-Poo Head. And then we went back and forth for a while. I was like, you're Poo-Poo Head. No, you're Poo-Poo Head. And then finally, I said, you know what? I'll show you who's Mr. Poo-Poo Head. And then when he was asleep, I drew Mr. Poo-Poo Head on a sketchbook.
Aww.
And I put it on the refrigerator, and he saw it, and he loved it. He thought it was fucking the greatest character ever invented. Better than Frodo Baggins, better than Bilbo Baggins. Mr.
Better than
Poo-Poo
Harry
Head.
Potter.
Better than Farty Potter. And, yeah, now I got this children's book I can't sell because there's too much poop.
That's so cute that you drew him a pic.
I drew him a pic, and he loved it.
Wow.
Peter Falk probably did that with a lot of friends. Like, I'll draw you a picture.
Let me draw you a picture, Mr. Poo-Poo Head.
Poo-poo.
Just one more thing.
Just one more.
Where's that water?
You sound just like him.
That's the only fucking celebrity impression. I can't do any celebrity impression like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can only do Peter Falk.
Yuki, you should be Columbo for Halloween.
Really?
Yeah, you would be a great Columbo. Yuki, if you were in the trench coat and then we got, like, we put, like, a prosthetic on your eye.
No.
Why? You would be great. Give you a cigar.
But I cannot, I can't pretend like him, no.
Columbo.
Columbo, no.
It's just Halloween.
It's Halloween, Yuki. You could. It'll be the case of the missing candy, and you could go after the children and like find out who stole all the candy, and then you figure out it's like the teenagers and they stole all the kids' candy.
Say and just one more thing.
Yeah, say just one more
Just
thing.
one more thing, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's nice.
All right, that was Peter Falk
Peter Falk.
on Yuki and John's Podcaster Buffet. Any
Yes.
other thoughts before we leave?
I missed Peter Falk.
Yeah, Peter Falk. So the people don't just watch Columbo, see his other movies.
Wings of Desire.
Yeah, Wings of
Mikey and
Desire,
Nikki,
Mikey.
The In-Laws. What was the one with the freaking Brink job?
The Brink's Job,
Brink's job.
the Murder Inc., Cheap Detective.
Woman Under the Influence.
Woman Under
Yeah,
the
you remember
Influence.
the serious, if you want to see
Husbands.
Opening night.
Opening night.
Opening night.
Those are serious one. Then comedy, then it's Mad World.
Mad.
Great Race,
Yep.
stuff like that.
He was in Maid.
Yeah.
With
Princess
John Favreau.
Bride.
Oh, he was also in The Great Muppet Caper.
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
And then the In-Law with Alan Arkin.
Great movie.
He's hilarious in that.
All right, so watch some Peter Falk and get back to us.
Yes.
And then buy my book, Mr. Poo-Poo Head,
Poo-Poo
coming
Head,
soon.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you!
Fuck you, fuck you.
Yuki and John, Patreon buffet.